I've got one of the factory pad presets called up, and it sounds nice as it is. And I'm going to call up another one. I'm going to go to this one called Heaven's Sake and just drag it in. And we'll just switch it to the same MIDI channel for the moment so we can hear them both together. So they blend nicely, but what I want to do is I want to combine them into one instrument, and I want to use the mod wheel to bring up this second pad sound for dramatic effect, for swells. So what I'm going to do is go into the group editor here, and I'm going to do like we did last time and copy and paste these two groups. And I'm going to go under the edit menu and go copy selected groups. We'll go to edit mode. We can mute this. We're not going to deal with that anymore. And go into the Daft pad instrument here, again in the group editor. And let's paste them in from the clipboard with their samples. And we should hear them all together now. Okay, that's really big and dramatic. I want to control these two with the mod wheel. So I'm going to turn off edit all groups. Let's listen to group solo for a moment. So here, just want to look at the amplifier levels. This is at minus 8.4. That one's a lot lower. And these two that we brought in, minus 12.5. And this one is at minus 10.1. I'm going to lower these a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. And what I'm going to do is assign a modulation source to the amplifier. So first we have the retro strings layer or the group, and let's listen to that one. So there's just that, and I'm going to click here to add a modulation routing. So I'm going to add a modulator here, and I'm going to add a MIDI CC message, and it defaults to MIDI CC1, which is my mod wheel. And that's going to ramp up. By default, the routing is to volume, and that's fine. So I'm going to click here in the preset menu, and I'm going to enter a shape. I'm just going to go with the factory default, which is a straight linear curve. And now I should be able to use my mod wheel to bring that up as a swell from nothing all the way to the top. And you can track my mod wheel movement here with this fader. Okay, so that's working as expected. Let's do the same thing now with this one. I've got the amplifier level over here, and here's the modulation source. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add a modulator, and I'm going to add the same one, MIDI CC01, and we can create the same curve if we want, or we can maybe weight it a little bit differently, just sort of slightly different response. And again, with this one soloed, let's listen to this group. Great, so let me take it out of group solo. I'll play a chord, and we should be able to hear the mod wheel affect the two new groups coming up. So that's working out really nicely. Let's see what else we can do to tweak this. I'm going to go back to this first one, and again, let me put the group solo on. And I'm going to add another modulator. I want to have the CC1, the mod wheel, control some panning also. So let's go to add modulator, and I'm going to add CC again, and again defaulting to CC1, and that's fine. It's the mod wheel, and I want to have it control panning as well. So this time, instead of volume, I'm going to have it affect pan. And for the shape, let's try something different. Under the factory menu, I'm going to go to random. And here we can actually draw different curves. And again, I'm doing this just kind of randomly, and that should work nicely. Let's hear what it sounds like. And you can see the pan modulation happening around here as I move the mod wheel. Now let's go to the next layer, and I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to add modulator, external sources, MIDI CC1, and again, reassign it to pan, and we'll create random shape again. And I'll start drawing in something like that. And with this one soloed, let's listen to this. Let me just bring this up so we can see the pattern here and the pan at the same time. And let's see if we offset this. So we're getting some nice motion that way by pan modulation in addition to the offset. That's nice and wide. So now for the big grand finale, let's take them out of group solo and hear everything all together. So as I move the mod wheel, we'll hear the volume swell and the random panning positions changing. So that's a nice dramatic pad sound. So that's an idea of how we can take some of these factory pads and really spice them up. So just to recap, I've grabbed a couple of groups from one pad, pasted it into another, and then assigned some mod wheel to control the volume so I can swell them up, and then some random panning as well to have them move in the stereo spectrum throughout their trajectory. So hope that stimulates some ideas for how you can get some nice creative results from the pad libraries here. We'll continue with more in the next video.